Hello, my name's Vanessa. I'm a lightworker and I'm here to help. In this video, I want to talk about emotional intelligence. Today I'm feeling a little dark night of the soul-y. I did talk about that in my very first video and how I was getting a lot of signs from the universe that I was going to be entering into a dark night of the soul, which I consider to be an honor, a painful honor. um, but yeah, so this goes back into what I was saying yesterday, though, in my video about what we put our energy into and how what we put our energy into grows. And I noticed because I was finding out so many different things about corruption all over the world and things like that, and I found it to be so interesting. But I was starting to put some energy into that, into researching that, into watching videos on that. And of course, you started to feel negatively. And that's why in this channel, you won't hear me talking too much about those things because I understand the universal law of the universe, the law of attraction or the law of mirroring. And so I know and I realize I have the emotional intelligence to say, okay, you're putting your energy into this and you are getting this energy and this emotion in return. So it's time to switch your attention and focus on love, which I have a belief that anything that comes from love, a place of love, a thought, emotion, action, that comes from source, or God, you could call it. And anything that comes from a place of fear does not. So I'm definitely not going to be taking any actions out of fear, only love. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was just how important emotional intelligence is and how this affects every area of your life. Your work relationships, your friendships, your family relationships, relationships you have at the checkout counter at a store. And we just aren't taught these things in school. And this isn't a mistake. But again, I'm not going to get into that. So it's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to start to understand emotional intelligence, to put our energy into understanding it, and to gaining emotional intelligence for ourselves. And what does that even mean? That means your ability to handle your emotions and to not let your emotions control your actions. So you want to be in control no matter how you're feeling. So your emotional intelligence is important and deserves your attention, so that you can function better in the world and be more peaceful as well. Because when you have emotional intelligence, you can feel a certain way, and then you can make steps to change that emotion that you're feeling, or to at least not do anything that's going to cause it to grow. And I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to look into this and to put your energy into emotional intelligence, for the benefit of yourself and everyone around you. So yeah, I really hope that you do that. I feel for us all as humans. You know, we're not guided properly. We're not taught this. We're just taught, keep it together, don't do this. But we're not really taught to understand why we're feeling emotions, where they're coming from, and what to do about it. So the number one thing that you can do to help yourself with emotional intelligence is to bring awareness to your emotions, to things that trigger you, to start asking yourself questions about why this is triggering yourself, why this is causing or invoking this emotion, and then really to dive into that and discover yourself through that. Because only through awareness is there any ability to change. So you just need to start being aware of yourself. And I want to say a story that happened last night, and I'm going to be super vulnerable. I'm always going to promise to do that when it involves just myself, because I really want to normalize being human. Because I feel like it's so taboo to be a human. It's like, no, you have to keep it together and, don't be emotional. But that's part of being a human. We are emotional creatures, and we make mistakes, and we're certainly not perfect by any means. So I want to tell you a story. So last night I was putting a blanket away near the space I have where I sleep, And I just, crumbled it up and put it on top. And I said to myself, wow, this looks messy. And I've said this to myself many times before. Um, Something looked messy, specifically this, the blankets. I'm always moving blankets and fabrics and putting them back into this place. And for some reason, on this occasion, last night, a light switch, a light bulb clicked on, and it said, well, if you fold the blanket, it'll look better. And I found this to be so amusing. I was like, yeah, you're right. And I folded the blanket and it looked better. But what I'm saying is that I didn't have the awareness. My awareness stopped before at the point where, wow, this looks messy. I wish that wasn't so. And then just stopped there. But what happens is when we bring awareness to our lives, into our lives, it bleeds into other areas. So this is not only going to be beneficial to your emotional intelligence, but just to sort of open your eyes and bring awareness to lots of other areas in your life. And a lot of people listening to that story are going to be like, oh my God, like that's obviously fold a blanket and it's better. But this happens to us in all different ways as humans, where things could be obvious to other people, but just for some reason, the awareness doesn't reach us. And so awareness is a wonderful thing to start bringing into your life, and to especially helping your emotional intelligence and helping you with your relationships. And one thing is, you're gonna get so tired of me saying this, but when you're triggered by something, there's a wound there. So once you start to heal these wounds, you get rid of the triggers. So it's really, really important that we do this and we start asking ourselves questions. Why am I feeling like this? And not just leave it at, well, I'm feeling like this, and especially not putting it on other people. Well, I'm feeling this because this person is doing that. Because we have to take ownership for what's happening in our lives. And the fact that if we're being triggered by something, there is something internally going on with us, not just the other person. So, yeah, I love you so much. I hope you look into your emotional intelligence and work on it, or if you are already working on it, I congratulate you and I wish you luck on your journey. I love you so much. Thank you. Bye.